Hey, I'm Bruce from Highland Genetics. Want to go through some needles today and some antibiotics. Thought we'd start with the needles. I keep two on hand, two different sizes on hand. I've got a 1.5 inch 18 gauge needle. Sometimes I like, if I need to step it up, I do have larger needles that I keep, like a 14 gauge needle, if you're going to be pushing a lot of fluid through or anything that's thick. But I find that the 18 gauge works pretty well. This works great if you're doing inner muscle. If you're doing a sub-Q shot, the 1 inch I find works pretty well if you got to go behind the ear. And again, it's an 18 gauge needle. So that's what I keep. Not to say that it's the perfect thing, but that's what I like to keep on hand. This one here is a 16 gauge needle, so a little bit different size. Again, if you're going to be pushing some thick fluids through, you want to keep that on hand. And then I also like to keep a couple sanitized steel blades just in case I need to do any cutting or lancing, if maybe I have something to do there. As far as the different syringe sizes, I like to keep 12 cc, 3 cc, and 60 cc on hand. And the reason is because obviously a 60 cc, if you're trying to get a little bit more accurate from a 3 mil shot, you're not going to be as accurate. So, and then cost-wise, of course, the 60 cc is going to be more expensive than a 3 mil, but I like to keep them all on hand. I prefer the lure lock design, which isn't, that's not that one. That's why that one's sitting there. The lure lock actually has a swivel inside the needle, and there's other kinds where, like this here kind, where it just fits on the needle. One thing you're going to find with Highlands is their skin is really thick, and hitting them with a needle is a little different than hitting an Angus or hitting any other cattle that I've experienced. You really got to push it in, and when you have to push it in, you pull it out, and a lot of times the needle will get stuck or it will pull off the syringe. So that's why I prefer the lure locks. They're just a little bit safer and a little bit easier to work with.
Sweet.